Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Make Gains. I've got a special one for you today. I did an episode about 2 months ago where I talked about electric vehicle regret. That was one of my most popular videos. It was one of my most commented videos. And I got a lot of love and hate from both sides. A lot of folks said none of these people who regret buying an EV have a Tesla. Well, today we're going to be talking about Tesla regret. Why people regret buying a Tesla. I've got a lot of good reasons. Let's get into it. This first one was the most popular reason I did find for regretting a Tesla. A lot of people said they never regret buying their Tesla, the best car purchase they've ever made, and I believe you. But yeah, let's get into it.
1 week ago, I got the Tesla Model Y, and I'm going to tell you all of the reasons why I regret getting it.
Okay, you guys won. You guys are right. I truly regret buying the Tesla. This late, I should have got it a lot freaking earlier. The car is amazing.
Now, I wanted to get that out of the way because I wanted to pay homage to all you folks who live and die by your Tesla and who love it. Now, that was the most common thing that I saw when doing research for this video. The rest of these videos are actually some very legit reasons why people regret buying their Teslas. I'd love to hear your thoughts on these, and there are all kinds of different reasons. I did find multiple of these also.
Whoever thinks that they want a Tesla, they don't. That's the worst mistake of my life. I've had it for like a month or two, and I literally have to charge it at a charging station every single day because I don't have a charger at my house. I'm over it. I want a gas car again. I just want to go to the gas pumps and take 2 minutes. I'll even wait 5 minutes, 10 minutes for a pump. I don't care. I do not want to charge a car ever again. Ever.
Now, this one I will blame on not doing proper research. That was one thing in my last video that saw tons and tons of, was people having regret over being stuck at charging stations. I got a lot of feedback that that's not normal, and it really depends on where you live. So that all has to do with your local infrastructure. Some areas are great for charging, others are not so good. Apparently along the interstates is pretty awesome. This was one of the biggest reasons, and I don't really think that this is a car's fault. This is a situation where you need to do better research, and that is part of making gains, is ensuring you do research before you make any major purchase.
It was the Tesla that was the worst car I've ever purchased in my life. I regret it because it's the first new car I ever bought. Paid $77,000 for a brand new Y Performance. Brought it to the Tesla service center because the battery was dog trash. It would die within 105 miles on average on a full battery. And the service guy told me, yep, this is completely jacked up. Your battery's a dud. They should give you a new one or just replace the car because you just bought it. I was like, cool. Like, I don't care about the maintenance or, take a few weeks, do your thing, but like, just fix it. And then they wouldn't. The manager wouldn't. They were extremely rude. So I walked out. I threw the card for the car and I just left the car there. They kept trying to call me. And it wasn't until 2 weeks later when I got a level head, went to pick the car back up, and then I sold it and lost $15,000. I was just pissed at them.
Yeah, I'd be frustrated with them too. That is a really frustrating situation. I don't know if any of you have had this situation or not. I'm really surprised about this one, that Tesla didn't own that, especially it was a brand new car. I think they should have replaced that battery.
Leave Walmart. It's sprinkling rain and everything, bro. I come outside to get in a Tesla. It's literally disabled for no reason. Can't get in. I can't open no doors. I'm talking about I can't use the app. I can't do nothing. The car won't let me do nothing. I don't know if this is a part of the reception that the world going through, the internet, the IT access. I don't know what it is. But just know when you're on the Tesla, this is some of the things you're going to have to deal with when you can't get access to, I guess, internet. The car literally is disabled. Literally.
That's a frustrating thing too. And I know that a lot of folks that's one of the major reasons why they swear they'd never have an electric vehicle, because they like the reliability of a gas engine, just being able to turn it over, it's starting, not being locked out of your car if the battery's dead or whatever. I don't know what was causing his particular situation, but that would be super frustrating. And there's another video similar to this, but getting locked out of your car because you don't have internet, yeah, that's not a good place to be.
If you ever considered buying a Tesla, here's your sign to not do it, especially the Model X. If you hear that sound, it's because my seats don't move. They don't move. You can't push it back. It's jammed. Again, my seat belts are not working. I keep getting warnings that the seat belts have malfunctioned. This is probably the 8th time with the seat belts. This is the 2nd time with the seat, and because I'm out of warranty, I have to pay for all of these things. I'm losing my mind. Elon Musk with the $120,000. Oh, not to mention, I paid the extra $10,000 for full self-drive that I can no longer use because the day that I hit 50,000 miles, my full self-drive mechanics went up and they want $6,000 to repair it. Don't buy a Tesla. Don't buy a Tesla. Now I have to deal with the sound until they can figure out what's going on.
I'd be super frustrated over the seatbelt thing, or the seat not going back and it beeping until they can get it fixed, and then wanting her to pay for it when they've already had it repaired. That seems a little ridiculous. But the self-driving thing, man, that's like the reason to buy a Tesla in my mind, right? I mean, obviously the electric part, but self-driving, Tesla, I think, is the only one that really has this locked down. For it to go out as soon as you hit 50,000 miles and then they want $6,000 to fix it, that is no bueno.
Is it just me? Is anyone else embarrassed by this? Did anyone else buy their car like 2 or 3 years ago and now they're like embarrassed that you're kind of stuck and you have to drive it around like in embarrassment? Because I am. I'm kind of embarrassed. Like, I'm grateful that I have a car and I don't have to pay for gas, but I'm embarrassed to drive it. Like, if people want to cut me off or not let me in, I kind of almost am like, yeah, I get it. I get it. Please tell me I'm not the only one that bought a Tesla and now is like totally regretting it.
Is this a thing? I mean, are people really cutting you, like for all my Tesla owners out there, are people cutting you off because you're driving a Tesla? I know there's a lot of hate for Elon. Everybody's frustrated with Elon now, including Trump, but this isn't a political channel. I do want to say, I think we should be able to disconnect politics from the brand of car we drive. Especially if you bought this car because you're wanting to save the environment. Now the person who runs that company is doing some things that you don't agree with. Should you be embarrassed to drive the car? I don't know. I personally wouldn't be. I might not make a purchase because of something like that, but it is kind of funny that this flopped over and now everybody's freaking out about Elon. I even saw a car. I tried to take a picture of this. It's a bad picture, but I'll throw it up there for you guys. I was behind a car 2 nights ago taking my daughter to soccer practice. This car has a sticker that says Anti-Elon Tesla Club on it. You're that embarrassed that you need to put a sticker to let everybody know that not only did you buy a Tesla and you're trying to show everybody that you're trying to save the environment, and then now you're embarrassed to drive it because of the CEO of the company. So you need to put a sticker on there to show everybody that you're against Elon. It's kind of silly, but yeah, more power to you. I guess if you feel like you need to do that, then go for it. I did find that amusing that she regrets buying a Tesla because of who it's associated with.
Yes, everyone, I sold my Tesla and everyone is like, why did you sell your Tesla? And I am going to talk trash about Tesla. So if you want to hear about it, I'm going to talk about it. The things that I loved about my Tesla did not outweigh the numerous things that I hated about my Tesla. The 2 things I loved about my Tesla, actually 3 things. 1, it's so fast. You will never drive a faster car. It's so cool to drive. If you haven't driven one, you should just go drive. When I was driving my new Porsche, I was like, man, this isn't even fast. Even though it is fast, it's just not like a Tesla. 2, I loved autopilot, driving home from a wedding late at night from Traverse City. And 3, I loved the way people looked at my car. People just think they're more expensive than they are, which they are totally expensive. But the way I would drive by and guys would be like, nice car, oh my god, I love your car. And I'd be like, yeah, thanks. Even though I'm like, I freaking hate it. But now I'm going to tell you why I hated it. The one thing that I could not stand about my Tesla is the charging lifestyle is not for me. I absolutely hated it. I have had range anxiety for a 1.5 years. And that is literally what it's called when you're driving your car and you're freaking out, like, how am I gonna get home? I have to plan how I'm gonna get home. I have to schedule like an hour and a half of my day just charging my car. So inconvenient, especially for me because I drive across the state all the time for work. And when you're stopping and charging at a supercharger, which Tesla has superchargers all over the state, you get less life out of your battery if you're charging at a supercharger compared to your at-home charging station. So that was a huge thing. Could not stand it. The second thing is that they're so expensive, but they are so poorly made. The inside of my Tesla, I honestly felt like I was in an IKEA car at some aspects of it. Like, obviously the screen is dope as hell, but my leather seat on my driver's seat was falling apart already from where my elbow was hitting it. Like, that's how poorly made they are. The seals around the doors, like all that stuff, like you think that, okay, I'm spending all this money on this car, but I feel like this isn't gonna last me a long time. That was kind of the vibe that I got from it. So excited I got rid of it. Also, when something goes wrong with your car, you can only take your car to Tesla to get it fixed. And in Michigan, there's not a lot of Tesla dealerships, so that would have been a problem had something gone wrong with my car. Thank God nothing did. But that's super inconvenient. And one of the biggest things for me was how terrible that car did in the winter. This last winter was literal hell for me. There was days where I was like, I don't even think I could drive today because my car was so bad in the snow. It has a lot to do with the way the car brakes and accelerates. It was just not a good mixture. And the amount of like you get so much less life out of your battery in the winter. There was like 3 weeks, and my car payment is smaller.
So she had a couple of reasonable complaints there, right? The charging thing, I mean, everybody on my last video was like, Tesla is the way to go with charging because you get the app, it tells you exactly where to go, and it plans out your trip and makes it so great. And I think that's true, and most people do not complain about that, but I do think range anxiety is a thing because you can't just stop anywhere. So if for whatever reason your battery didn't get as much as you were expecting, there's some nerves because you can't just charge it anywhere. The charging lifestyle, everybody says that the superchargers are really fast, so I'm not sure why it's taken forever. The repair piece about only being able to go to certain places, I remember during COVID, people talking about these waiting lists for repairs and they didn't have parts. That is something you typically won't experience with a gasoline vehicle. I thought those are some very valid things to think about also.
I regret buying my Tesla. It is 95 degrees and I'm getting roasted because my cabin climate control system requires service when it is 96 degrees out. What did I do to deserve to get roasted like a potato in the middle of the day? I got errands to do. I got things to do.
I think you can have that kind of thing with any car, but some of those things with Teslas are a little more finicky. Like when there's a software issue that could potentially cause things to not work. So we've seen a couple of those. I understand the frustration with that and then potentially not be able to get it fixed quickly and easily.
I am currently in a parking garage at the airport with no miles, stealing electricity from the airport themselves. I am plugged up to one of their outside wall charger things. Let's put the icing on the cake. I am on lunch break. I'm supposed to be at work. It is 105 degrees and I cannot put the air on because I'm going to use electricity that I don't have.
Now, this is not Tesla's fault, but I have seen multiple people complaining about this one. This is a owner's fault only. So if you're in the boat of this young lady, then you have yourself to blame because you've got to think about these things ahead of time. Whenever you adopt that EV lifestyle, you got to be charging. You can't just roll up with a gallon of gas and fill up your car. Now, that's something I personally like to be able to do, but you have an EV and you run out of electricity, you're stuck. So you got to figure it out. And, you know, she's doing that. But yeah, I mean, charging from a regular receptacle, you're going to be there a while, I would imagine.
What's been your worst purchase in recent history?
It's my Tesla. Let me show you. Ta-da-da-da! Well, I've been driving it for 2 years. Lost $61,000 in 2 years.
So you bought it new, and how much did it cost when it was new?
I think it was like $108,000.
And now it's worth $40,000 or something like that?
Yeah, I lost like half of its value. You have a 100K vehicle right in front of you. This is its wheel, and they know it's a problem, but they can fix it yet because they don't have any new wheels.
Oh my god, wow.
Luxury.
So this is just being taped together right there?
It keeps falling off, and I see it in all of the Teslas. Never buy a new car, especially if it's a new Tesla that they're just testing out. Because this was one of the first cars on the market. I'd rather wait for like a couple of years and buy a new one.
So her problems, I'm not sure if they're caused by her or the Tesla. Now, this was one of the first Teslas. Losing half the value quickly isn't uncommon. That is one of the things people talk about. Because of discounts over the last few years, the values of the car have gone down significantly. So you can purchase these used much cheaper than you could a few years ago because of some of those things. And also government rebates coming to an end. There are a lot of reasons for that now. I don't know if she hit a curb or what, but I haven't seen a lot of Teslas with the fender pieces taped on.
All right, so my piece of trash Tesla completely died. And because it died, it's got no battery. Because it's got no batteries and everything's completely dead. This is the complete battery, everything's done. I had to buy a new battery, it cost like 26 grand. I'm not buying that. I'm not giving them another dime. It's raining, it's dead. I can't access the inside, so I gotta see if I could take apart the cone. I got someone willing to pay 20 grand. I can't even access the damn ownership. This is 2022, people. This is what the future looks like. A brand new electric vehicle, you can't even access the damn thing because they didn't think about how to do it. Worst off, they made it so the air conditioning condenser unit dumps all the water on top of the battery, so my battery is full of water, which is why it needs a new one. And now they're saying it's not covered under warranty, even though it started happening during the warranty period. This is why you should never buy a Tesla, people. Thing's complete trash. Stay away from it. Here I am, working like an animal, trying to get the ownership out of the car, and I can't even get that. So, wish me luck. I'll post another video and see if I make it.
That's definitely not happening with older cars. I do think there's something to be said for having a keyhole and being able to access your vehicle at all times. So we saw the other gentleman where a similar situation couldn't access his vehicle. This one I think is completely different because the batteries are shot completely. He's just trying to get rid of it. But these are things that can happen with a Tesla. Not trying to hate on Teslas, just wanted to show that there are plenty of these out there where people do regret buying Teslas. I don't think that's the majority. Like I said at the beginning, I think most people love their vehicles. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you watched to the end, I appreciate you. We are trying to grow the channel, so I would really love it if you'd hit that like and subscribe button. That'll help us out as we grow. We'll see you next time.